See that? What you're looking at there? That's a grave site. Howdy folks, Shawn here from Hiking with Shawn on YouTube. And today, we got some bluffage there behind us. Today we're at Millstone Bluff. It is New Year's Eve of 2017. And you won't see this video till 2018. And that's because I've already posted a video for today. That's my rewind video, but I am gonna try to get a video posted for tomorrow that I took tomorrow. That makes any sense, whatever. So here we are at Millstone Bluff. It is a site that is into this thing, this QR code little deal thing. I don't really understand it. I need to start doing this. So, because there's all sorts of them. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun video to do someday. Just go around and do that, you know. Very historical area. Been here before. Love coming back again and again. But I'll read you some information here. So, this is a half-mile trail. Takes under 2 hours to walk. I'd say, leading you up the bluff. That's misspelled, it should be bluffage. And across the archaeological site, it is a modern walking difficulty, particularly up the bluffage. For your safety, as well as the protection of Millstone Bluff archaeological resources, it is important to stay on the trail, underlined. Be careful to watch for obstacles along the way. And it also explains that digging is federally prohibited. Could be a federal offense. The Millstone Bluff Trail provides an unusual opportunity to view close up one of the few well-preserved prehistoric settlements in the Midwest. This area was listed as on the National Register of Historic Places in 1973 because of its outstanding archaeological importance. The Forest Service protects these special places for their scientific and educational value. Millstone Bluff is being preserved for future generations to study and to learn. The history. Millstone Bluff was home for both the Woodland and Mississippian Indians. Woodland Indians first lived here around 1500 years ago, building a stone wall on the bluff top. Small family groups lived in temporary camps. They moved throughout the Shawnee Hills, hunting deer and turkey. They also gathered wild foods such as nuts and acorns. Eventually, families began staying along the rivers year-round, growing corn, beans, and squash, and maintaining permanent homes. This change in lifestyle is called the Mississippian period, and occurred around 1,000 years ago. The houses on Millstone Bluff were built during this time. These farming communities shared common values and gathered together to celebrate important cultural events organized by leaders of high status. About 500 years ago, Mississippian people left Millstone Bluff. Where and why they moved is a story that is not completely understood. There are many unanswered questions about the history of Millstone Bluff. Why did the Woodland Indians build the stone wall? Why did these Mississippian farmers choose to live on the bluff and not along the river like most of their neighbors? Future archaeological study will address these and other questions. The name Millstone. Millstone Bluff received its name from quarrying activities by settlers from the past century. The sandstone around the bluff was shaped into millstones for use in grinding grain. The millstone you see here was left behind. There you go. It's pretty cool, huh? This is not part of it. That's probably there to secure this so no one steal it. Back in time, you are entering a very sensitive archaeological area, retracing the path that prehistoric Native Americans most likely used to enter the settlement on the bluff. Along the trail, you will see what remains a stone wall, community cemetery, rock carvings, and village dwellings. As you pass through the site, imagine how it must have appeared long ago. These stairs are not prehistoric. Just so you know. This did not look like this years ago. It's pretty cool though. Oh, there's a little popping and cracking going on. Bluffage. Ancient bluffage. Ancient woodland and Mississippian bluffage. A friend of mine heard the main big bluffs, which I'll show you that once we're back to the truck, may have timber rattlesnakes around them. They're not gonna have it right now because they're hibernating, but come springtime when the migration starts at LaRue Pine Snake Road, I'll probably come out here and look for them too. So it's a loop. You go either way. I'm gonna go that way. So here we go, a stone fort. This line of stone along the edge of the bluff is the only visible trace of a wall built around the site by woodland Indians about 1,500 years ago. This wall and the steep cliffs provided protection for residents. There are 10 other stone forts across southern Illinois, indicating widespread conflict between woodland groups. Fortifications like this became necessary as competition over land and resource increased. Judging from the quantity of the stone, the wall must have been at least 6 feet thick and as many in height during the Land Office Survey Notes 1808. And there's a typical stone fort in southern Illinois, and I don't know where, unless it's all kind of covered up, unless this is it, just part of it, I guess, because I don't really see anything stone forty-ish. Stone fortage. All right, we will continue. See that? What you're looking at there? That's a gravesite. Community cemetery. The area in front of you is a Mississippian cemetery. People were buried in shallow stone-lined graves separated by family or a larger group of relatives. Each burial was treated differently depending on the sex, age, and perhaps special skills and achievement. Infants had a high death rate, while the years between childhood and adulthood were relatively healthy. Most individuals lived into their 30s, few longer than 50 years. Stealing the past. This cemetery has been destroyed by modern looters digging graves to find burial offerings. The holes and mounds of dirt in front of you are all that remains of this sacred place. Can you imagine this happening to your local cemetery? This area was cherished by the families whose loved ones were buried here. By staying on the trail, you will be showing respect for them. That's sad that people would, dig up graves. There you go, folks. That's history. I mean, wow. That is history. A lot of leaf litter, so some stuff is not very visible. The things I do for my fans. That's a little mushroom. Okay. I don't want to be disgusting here, but it's so cold that the nose hairs in my nose are freezing. So So this is the petroglyph area. I think they call them petroglyphs. It'll tell me up here if I'm wrong. Stories in the stone. The daily lives of Mississippian Indians were greatly influenced by their beliefs. Animals were thought to contain spirits, which required prayer and offerings to promote long life and health for the community. The large bird and spider on the rock below are ceremonial symbols which are still being used by present-day southeastern tribes. The thunderbird is a sky spirit, and the spider is a water creature, both with magical powers. What mythical story was being told by the carver? Okay. So here we go. We got something there, I do believe. If you can make it out. Hopefully. It's super cold. Oh, that wind. Good Lord. And I don't know if there's anything over there. I don't think, maybe down here. There's something here. You can see that's carved in a little bit. Yeah, I think that may be the bird. Very cool. Very cool. Ooh, I can't feel my face. Yeah, petroglyphs, Mississippian. There's a whole bunch here. You're supposed to kind of try to spot them. But I need to get moving. I gotta move. Because everything's cold. I'm like right in the wind. The family home. And this is where you've seen in some of my videos where I say there's a depression, and it could have been like a home for Mississippians or woodland period. So that's what this explains about. The family home. The depressions visible around you are the preserved remains of Mississippian homes. The average home was rectangular in shape and about 10 to 20 feet on a side. The floor was slightly dug into the ground. The walls were built by placing poles upright in a narrow trench, which were tied together with strands of cane and covered with mud and grass. The steep roof was covered in bundles of plant stalks. If their homes were rectangular, why are there circular pits visible today? After the house was abandoned, the walls and roof eventually collapsed toward the center of the floor. As the material decayed on the floor, the soil filled the shallow pit. A saucer-shaped hole was formed. That's cool. So there's a depression. Over here's another depression. There's two houses. Oh, here's another depression. I think this is the big one. This is a huge depression. So, community building. This depression is larger than the others and likely was a public building, much like our modern meeting halls. On special occasions, warriors, religious leaders, or political leaders would meet in small groups and plan community events. Imagine one by one the public leaders entered the building with their own ideas and strategy for an upcoming corn harvest. Decisions were needed on how much corn to store over the winter and where to plant next year's crop. Festivities were planned to celebrate the ripening of corn and ensure successful harvest. They left the meeting place feeling assured of good fortune and eager for the tasks that lay ahead. So that big depression is the community building, or so it is thought. Very cool. I'm sure archaeologists have dug in there. I don't know if they found anything. It'd be neat. Then there's another depression right there. That was probably a home. There's another one up here. Another depression right there. Isn't that cool? It's just awesome. All right, this flat area here, the public square, the large flat area before you is the village plaza, the center of the community activity. This heavy use compacted the soil so that few trees grow here today. 20 house depressions around the plaza indicate that about 100 people lived here. As you look out across the plaza, imagine a fall day, air filled with smoke rising from cooking fires. Children play while their fathers repair the roof. Hunters return with their game as women grind corn and dry meat on tall racks in preparation for the long winter ahead. Just imagine that. Looking back, you have been retracing footsteps hundreds of years old and have learned about the life ways of an ancient culture. Their lives became real to us only after careful study of the clues they left behind. Responsibility for protecting Millstone Bluff and other sites like it rests with those of us who visit these special places. A country with no regard for its past has little to remember in its future. Abraham Lincoln. Alrighty folks, so here we are in the bluffage part. The more defined bluffage part. It's pretty cool out here. I like this. That's intense. That's cool. Yeah, I bet this is exactly what this was. Where they were digging offside the bluffs and making the millstones. So, it's pretty cool. This is probably this operation right here. Thanks for watching another episode of Hiking with Shawn. I hope you have enjoyed this trail. If you did, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. And after that, you can comment down below, tell me what you thought of it, what you thought of this area. If you want me to start doing more like educational type hikes, where I find areas like this with education, and there's a few of them around, and start, you know, doing some like interpretive hikes, if you will. You know, get to where the signs are, read the signs for you, in case, you know, for some of you who can't read it all in the video, or, you know, you have vision problems. I don't mind doing that. Sometimes I mix up words and have to correct myself. But if you want me to do that, just tell me in the comments below. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Share this video with others. And Happy New Year's Eve, folks. Happy New Year's. If you see my New Year's Eve video, the rewind, you know, I'm really thankful for you all, and I really am. You've been the biggest part of getting me to where I am today with Hiking with Shawn, and I'm really appreciative of that. I really am. So, thanks again for watching another episode of Hiking with Shawn, and until next time, I'll see you on the trail. I don't understand why I'm the only one here. It's only 18 degrees out with a wind chill of probably -2. Hey, these jersey gloves are pretty much all I've really needed. I mean, my hands are cold. They hurt. Don't get me wrong. But I can still move them and they're not turning purple or black. So, and the sun, when I'm out in the sun part, it feels really good. Thank you, sun. Probably just killed my lens.